Acá me encuentro en los estudios de ensayo de lo que fue la banda Spiders and Apes. Acá estoy con Tim, que ha estado desde los inicios de Spiders and Apes. Ha estado en London, ha estado en Ultra Pop. Y aparte, bueno, trabaja como parte del core de Cleopatra Records. Vamos a hablar acerca de la parte musical de Tim. Tim, how are you doing, brother?
Ah, great. Thanks.
Well, years pass by here, okay? Since
Yeah.
we have the interview.
I think,
with Lizzie.
oh my gosh, over 12 years ago, 13 years ago.
I think it was 2007, maybe.
Oh man, time flies.
Wow, yeah. It was. I thought it was not that long ago. Anyway, tell me, what are you doing? What are you currently doing musically?
Yeah, so you can see the studio we're in. This is where my new band Hollywood After Dark rehearses. Last year we put out our first single in the movie Cocaine Werewolf. And this month we just wrapped up 10 songs, and they're mastered. And now we're going through the difficult process of trying to choose the single. And everyone has a different opinion, so that's why earlier I played you some songs. Hopefully maybe you can give me some feedback, what you think the best song is that we should release. But it's very exciting. We're happy to be done with it finally.
Good. Yeah, actually I heard 2 songs of the band, which I feel flattered because I was the first media so far.
It's true.
Yeah. So it was good so far. Different style. I mean, similar style, different genre. Slightly, and both were good so far.
Thanks.
So it's hard to choose one.
Gracias.
Yeah. So and who's in the band?
So it's myself on drums, keyboards, and backing vocals. Ches Monroe and Ruben De Fuentes. They were formerly of the band The Hollywood Stars. And
with S.
Yeah. And we have a new bass player named Ray. And we have Danny, also from Las Vegas, on lead vocals. So it's a 5-piece band. It's a quintet.
Oh, quintet.
Yeah.
Do you have any expectation when it's going to be released, the first album?
I think we're going to shoot for a single for this summer and a music video. We've been invited to already do some show dates later this summer. And we'll see how the singles go. Maybe we do a third single. We're still trying to make these interesting decisions yet.
Good. Yeah. Things change. Back in the time, you just release the album, then put in singles.
Yeah, it's kind of changed. Yeah. I think the industry has gone back to singles. I think social media and YouTube play a big part in that mechanism of releasing song by song rather than just trying to put out 10 songs at once and hope everyone listens to all 10. So I've learned the older I get, Lucas, to be patient with the process and try not to overthink and let it organically begin.
Yeah. Actually, I'm going to change a little bit of the question here because we're talking about the market and while big record companies already disappear, why do you think Cleopatra Records is still alive?
I think it's a passion. Yeah, it's a passion. We have a fearless leader, Brian, who formed the label back in 1992. Gave my band Spiders and Snakes a chance to put out our record, London Days, and offered me a job. I met him December 31st, 1998. Spiders and Snakes was opening.
You remember the date?
Yeah.
Oh my
December 31st, we were opening for Poison at the Roxy.
Oh my gosh.
And he came up to our dressing room and met me and Lizzie, and he said, "You should come work with me." I said, "Well, I have a job, Century Media Records, 5 years." He said, "I'll put out your band's record." The next day I said, "Hello, Century Media. I'm leaving to join Cleopatra." And this August 1st, I'll start my 27th year, August 1st, beginning 27th year.
Wow, amazing.
And I think leadership's important. I think everyone at the label has a passion like you do for music. I always said it's not a job, Lucas, it's a lifestyle. And you have to buy into the lifestyle and never cut your hair.
I'm too late about that. Actually, talking about Spiders, there's anything unreleased, any material that wasn't released yet,
That's a great question. I probably have a quarter of a century of live video, live concerts on, DAT tapes, high 8 tapes, VHS tapes even. There are some demos still.
Like new songs?
Well, songs that were revised and maybe released under a different title, but there's some early incarnations on cassette, analog. I would have to do some polishing, and With Lizzie no longer with us anymore, I made the decision if I was going to release something, I would talk to his wife and two daughters first and see how they felt about it out of respect for the family. I knew his wife before they were married. They met each other back in 1992 when we were touring. So I'm still close to the wife and the two great kids, really great, smart, wonderful kids. So I would let them help me make that decision, but I never say never.
How was the process between Lizzie's disease and
The process in regards to,
well, being with him, keeping up the band, playing, and while he was, sick, and then when he gone.
we went through changes. It's pretty well documented on YouTube where he had I think the hardest change was him putting down the guitar. He loved that Flying V guitar. You remember that Gibson Flying V? He looked like Michael Schenker up there with that gorgeous Flying V. And I remember one show at the Whiskey, one of our producers, Kim Fowley, came to the show, and Kim noticed Lizzie's playing had changed a little bit. I remember he said, "Tim, what's going on with Lizzie?" And we didn't really notice it. It was one show, but Kim right away registered that something was different. And I think the biggest challenge was early it was misdiagnosed. And he really didn't know what was going on. And he was seeing different doctors out in Las Vegas. So they were going through different medical treatments and it wasn't getting better. But Lizzie is a lifer. Talk about a lifestyle. He bought into it. He said, even if I can't play lead guitar, let's go get a lead guitar player. So we did. We went out and I hired Chris Sheridan, who I'd been friends with for years, and he was known for Sweet Savage. And Lizzie used to joke, he would say, and I don't know if people know this about Chris, but he was in a wheelchair after Sweet Savage. He was taking flying lessons in Texas, and he had an engine that went out mid-flight, and so he was paralyzed from the waist down. He was in a wheelchair. And Lizzie would joke, Chris, between you and I, we make a hell of a guitar player and a singer. And it was wonderful the way those two bonded, and Chris really injected some life into Spiders and Snakes, and we thought it would be over. If Lizzie couldn't play guitar, what are we going to do? But Chris stepped in and added a new dimension to the band. This was probably around 2012, 2013, 2014. So in the last Spiders and Snakes studio record, it was all Chris Sheridan on guitar and Lizzie on voice. And it's one of my favorite records that we did. Out of the 9 studio records in 25 years, that's one of my favorite because of the challenges we faced, Lucas, and the obvious pain that Lizzie was in. He was struggling with Lewy body dementia. And if that disease sounds familiar, it's what took the life of the comedian Robin Williams.
Yes.
And Lewy body dementia, it mimics Parkinson's because you get the tremors, but it's more closely related to Alzheimer's disease. It's a form of dementia. So I studied the hell out of that because we were trying to figure out how can we help Lizzie. When he did pass away in 2018, we did a benefit concert at the Whiskey A Go-Go, and I invited the director of the Lewy Body Dementia Association. They flew up from the East Coast, and we raised several $1,000s for Lewy body dementia, and it's something that's still dear to my heart, and I am planning another event. I don't know when the date is, but I would want to get the family involved and former band members. But it was a great memorial at the Whiskey. We put together an old version of London songs. We put together a version of Ultra Pop. I went back and got the original 2 blonde guys from Ultra Pop, and we did a version of Spiders and Snakes as well. And it was wonderful. Our old friends like Rebel showed up to play, and it was sort of a celebration, but we had to give honor to the late, great Lizzie Gray. And I think I told you before the end, I still have dreams about the two of us, the dynamic duo.
Well, I think because we don't have the person physically, it doesn't mean, it doesn't exist anymore. For me, it's still existing.
Yeah, I agree. Good point. Yeah. Really good point.
And dreaming is another life, it's another stage of life it's the way that I say, we're still alive, The memory is there. I mean, you haven't dreamed yet, right?
And when you walk in here, some of these posters have been here since 1993 in this room, and they're there for a reason, and I just don't want to take them down.
No, it's amazing. I'm gonna show you that, But about the other members, what do you know about the other members of Spiders and Snakes?
So Chris Sheridan, who was our last lead guitar player that played on the Year of the Snake record, he got married and moved to Texas, so he's doing very well. And Phil Garcia, who was our third and longest lasting bass player, almost 10 years, got married as well and moved up to San Francisco. So both those guys are doing great. And we still kind of text back and forth and on social media. Phil and I keep saying we got to do something musically together, but he's raising two young kids right now. Hopefully it happens. I would love to see it happen.
But all the original guys from Spiders.
So the original guys, they are back in San Diego, and Chris, who we called Cupcake, actually became a law enforcement officer, which surprised the hell out of all of us. And he had an illustrious career. He was on the California Highway Patrol, and he's now retired, and we're still buddies, because they all came back for the Lizzie Gray Memorial. So Vince is retired. He's back in San Diego. He raised kids and got married, but we're all still friends thanks to social media. So
nice.
I can say that I've never had a band that I didn't get along with later after it was over. I like to keep the doors open. I like to keep a clean conscience. So I have no ex-band members that I don't want to see again. I hope they feel the same way.
Oh, nice. For fans, it's great to know that,
Life's too short, Lucas,
Yeah, but it's how your heartbeats, It's about how you see life and how you act upon, your beliefs.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And trust me, after you've lost a band member, that it really comes into fruition where you don't know if you'll see that person again. So try to keep it as cordial as you can.
Yeah. Anything else you want to say? Any promotional websites, etc.?
Visit your local record store. Support your independent bands. Try to buy a CD while they're still around. I have a 16-year-old daughter that doesn't know what a CD is. She has her Apple Music and her YouTube and Spotify that Dad pays for. But bands work hard on their music, and I don't know anyone that still thinks they're going to get rich playing music. We do it because we love it. And life is short, so my goal at this point at my age is just to keep recording music and releasing music just because I want to. I would love to be able to retire and sail off into the sunset, but I would just get bored. If I didn't have these...
Come to my hometown.
Yeah, Argentina would be amazing.
Yeah.
I heard the food and the beaches are incredible.
Yeah. Hopefully we're going to see you there.
Yeah, and I appreciate Lucas has been a staunch supporter of everything I've done for the past quarter century, and Lizzie appreciated them too.
Yeah.
And so support media as well. Buy the magazine. Tune into his podcast, his radio show.
Just like it, share it. Simple, right?
That's it. You listening? This is the real deal right here.
Thank you, team.
Thank you, Lucas. Appreciate it.
Take care. Oh, social media?
Rock and roll. Facebook.com, Hollywood After Dark. And we'll see you on the road.
Team Yasui.
Cheers.